time zone. My goodness. Oh. What is happening? Technical difficulties, please hold. How about now? That doesn't make any sense. Why is it so much quieter now? What happened to my microphone? What? What is happening? Like crazy? It was fine. What could I possibly have broken? There we go. Okay, I think we're good now. So I think what happened is that after stream yesterday, I was trying to figure out why the camera was so bad. And which I did not fix, by the way. Just to let you know. But I did download a program for the camera, and it also like registered my microphone into that program, and I think that program reduced the system sound of my microphone, which is why it was so low just now. I uninstalled that program, but it did not change, did not like fix the sound at all, but okay. It's fixed now. Hi, good time zone. The camera thing, yeah, I don't know. I think it's a lighting issue because when I turn off the exposure, it's like pitch black in here, but it doesn't make any sense whatsoever because it's clearly not pitch black. I was also sitting in front of a window, specifically for extra lighting. I don't know. That's either here or there. I did fix, however, I did fix YouTube chat. So long time viewers will know that I've had a lot of trouble with YouTube chat not like working all the time. And it turns out the widget I was using for the chat stuff actually isn't compatible with YouTube. There's a specific warning on the widget page. It's like, hey, this doesn't really work with YouTube, so use at your own risk. Which I don't know if that's a new thing, if I missed that or I ignored it 3 years ago when I added the widget, but that explains that. So I got rid of the widget for YouTube, which means it doesn't look as good, but you know, I might try and find another widget or something, but at least now YouTube chat should work for me on stream. Still deciding what I want to do with like the combined chat idea, but at the very least, that should be fixed. That shouldn't be a problem anymore. But hey, we got episode 16 on today. Completely out of the blue for me. Was not really prepared for this. And I also only remembered like seconds after sitting down that I did not prepare a recap. So we're gonna be doing that off the cuff. I'm sure that's fine. I also tried to skim through last episode to find how I voiced Mantra, who is released for this event, this episode, and I could not really find it. So we're gonna make a new one, a new voice for her. As for any other characters that could possibly appear in this event, or this episode, apparently Elysium's in it, which is surprising. But I know his voice. Anyone else? We'll just have to wing it. You have to actually update the game. On Mumu player. So, Mantra, Primal Caster, huh? I don't know if I'm probably not going to pull for her. Well, but never say never, I guess. What does she actually even do? Talent 1. Enemies take 100% of monster's attack as elemental damage and when they trigger paralysis. When paralysis is triggered, there is an 8% chance to not consume the paralysis stack. Paralysis. Each stack of paralysis can interrupt an enemy when it attempts to perform a normal attack, max 3 stacks. Paralysis has unlimited duration when not consumed, but units with status of resistance lose 1 stack every 5 seconds. Alright. I guess paralysis comes from nervous impairment, normally. Or I guess that's actually what she's doing, because she does when it says elemental damage. I guess she does nervous impairment, okay. Fair enough. Let's swap over. Whabam. We can look here. So yes. Total grasp. Enemies entering the field from the closest incursion point to mantra immediately gains 1 stack of paralysis. Pretty cool. Skill 1, Resonance Collapse. The next attack deals 225% attack as arts damage and 30% as nervous impairment. If target is under the burst effect of nervous impairment, deals an additional 200% attack as elemental damage. Gestalt Consciousness. Attack interval reduces. Attack deals 240% as arts damage and jumps between up to 3 other enemies, dealing 120% attack as arts damage. Attacks and jumps deal an additional 8% as nervous impairment, or 18%. If targets under the effect of burst, deals 25% as elemental damage. Truth Enchanted. Range expands. Enemies within attack range lose invisibility. Hell yeah. And paralysis stack limit drops to 2. Attack plus 275%. And attacks 2 targets at once. When operators within range activate a skill, including mantra, enemies within range gain 2 stacks of paralysis, at most 3 stacks. For every 1 stack of paralysis above the limit on enemies within range, 1 instance of 185% attack as elemental damage jumps between the target and 1 other enemy. There's a short delay between jumps. Huh, that's pretty interesting. And she's a trading post. For every other facility with an elite operator, order acquisition plus 2%. She seems neat, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We also have Vetochki, who's a juggernaut. Get a team that can spam skills and the enemy will be perma-paralyzed. Hey, I know a team that does that. Ave Musica, still in it. Patochki is a 5-star juggernaut who's very cute. Their talent restores 40% up to 60% of their max HP when a skill ends. Oops. They have Desperate Resistance, which is just a defense and a resistance gain skill. And then they have Set on Survival, which will frighten nearby enemies for 5 seconds, gets increased attack and defense, and will attack all blocked enemies. So, I mean, that's... Oh, Frighten is different from Fear. Frighten cannot perform normal attacks when blocked. That's actually nice then. I was gonna say, why would you fear them if and then try and block them? That doesn't work. But no, they actually are still blocked. Fair enough. Fair enough. Modules. Why does AF Yellow have a module? Is that true? That's true. She does actually have a new module. One SP when normal attacks hit an elite or leader enemy. Immediately obtain 7 to 15 SP and 6 to 15 randomly after deployment. If there are elite or leader enemies in range, gains the maximum amount of SP and ASPD as possible. I'll be honest, I did not remember her talent at all. Wildfire immediately obtains 7 to 15 randomly after deployment. I did not remember that was a thing at all. So this actually doesn't improve that, it just adds an ASPD boost. And if there's a leader or an elite, it's a maximum amount. Which is not bad, actually. Plus the extra SP. When normal attacks, like that's not bad, I don't think. This one gives a caster boost. And I guess only a caster boost. So if you're not going to bring a lot of other casters, the other one probably is better. Well, it definitely is better. I don't know if Swire's still listed here. He's not new. Right? No. I don't know why Blaze is listed here. The other characters are for characters I don't have module access for, so... Elite Operator Lounge. Is this where they do their secret meetings? Perhaps. Fashion review. What is this? Get a random outfit from a specified pool. For 2,800 Orindum? I'm not sure I want to do that. But maybe that's actually, I mean... I guess I'm paying like 18 Originite Prime for one outfit, so maybe that's actually pretty good. What's the conversion rate again? One for 180. So you're paying 15.55555 Originite Prime for
that lame look of yours
random
is
outfit.
grinding my gears. Here, have a toy to lighten up. You're busy with work? Who cares about some boring ass work?
Fair enough. Speaking of
Just one
outfits,
thing. Don't lose sight of this
Halloween
little
outfits are back
or it'll
once
vanish in the
again.
blink of an eye.
Some of the best there is. Haze is awesome. Fan of Hazes. They added this new equip screen a couple updates ago, but not since we've streamed it really. It's nice. Storyboard Breaker serialized comic Beyond Redemption final character art. The nursing home creepshow outfit of the Dark Forest's therapist in the story, holding poison in her right hand, her fingertips curled towards her subtle smile, making others wonder if those heavy chains are of any use. Still thinking whether or not I want to buy this AF Yellow one, considering I don't have her. Might. I'm also extremely low on Originite Prime. Ave Musica killed me. I think they killed everyone. That's normal, Aya? Is it? Oh my gosh, it is. Alright, I guess I will buy it then. I thought it was Alter Aya. Brand collaborative series, Fluffy Little Witch. Perhaps every girl has dreamed of it, raising a parasol, donning a top hat, letting their magic dance across the night sky as she tells her fluffy friends the moment for dreams to come true is here. Yeah, I thought that was. I did not expect that to be normal. Yeah, I did buy the Lumen one. It's a nice one. But yeah, I gotta actually like think about which outfits I'm gonna buy now, because which I haven't had to worry about in a long time. But if I'm not careful, I will run out. No point of order, I don't think, on anything. I know the truth, forsake all other truths. Abnormal Spectrum, episode 16. There is no more need for men to war with men. Look, evening comes. Look, night is near. What use are words, poets, lovers, generals? The wind lies low, the fields are soaked with dew. The stars will freeze the sky in silence soon, and we will sleep beneath the earth at last, we who could never let each other rest. So we've got Amiya, Doctor, Monster, Mantra, Elysium, and 2 other characters I'm not sure if I'm supposed to recognize. Or if they're just random characters, or if they're new characters, I don't know. But, recap, huh? The recap I forgot to prepare. What happened last time? Arknights episode 15, Dissociative Recombination. The new arc has begun. After the War of Victoria ended, Rhodes Island returned mostly to normal operations, except that the top brass, as it were, were preparing for an accelerated awakening of Priestess. The events at the end of the Victorian War and the activation of Omninam would hasten her awakening quicker than she was supposed to, which is a very bad thing. But we did learn that the reason Omninam was activated was to allow Teresis to enter into the assimilated universe and try and cut off Priestess's control of Oranginium, which he did actually partially succeed at doing. But it also allowed her to awaken faster. And her first business upon awakening was to assault Rhodes Island. So the elite operators are sent into the Abyss, a secret section deep within the bowels of the land ship, where the PRTS mainframe and Priestess is stored. PRTS, hijacked by Priestess, was fighting against Rhodes Island. In order to give them an opening, Calcit had to enter the sarcophagus and hack into the abyss area, which, however, severed her Gemini cycle which would mean she's no longer immortal. Amiya and the Doctor entered into the Black Crown alongside Sublight Eterna. And were entered into like the main like database within the Black Crown, which they conceptualized as like this black hole thing. Mainly for Amiya to conceptualize it, because there'd be no other way for her to like understand what was even happening. And they had gone into the Black Crown in order to access some information. I'm actually reading this analysis because I honestly don't remember how to describe this. What information? I don't remember what they specifically needed, but they end up getting. They end up finding a set of memories of the Oracle, and with like Alma 10 before she was Calcit, and they had left behind some information, and like the Oracle, like I feel like it wasn't the Oracle knew like somehow that they were technically being watched from like, or I think no, it wasn't that they were actually knew they were being watched, but they like the memory played out in a way that made it almost seem like they knew, but I don't think they actually knew. But it was important research for Oranginium. Anyway, point being, Priestess's attack destroys Rhode Island, and she blips Calcit out of existence, leaving only Monster to then take over as the next Calcit, except she doesn't want to be the next Calcit. She's just gonna be her own thing, her own individual. The Rose Island is destroyed, but Calcit had actually been had a previous deal with Vina to buy a city plate, and to you know, so they were gonna make that into, they made that into the new Rose Island. Also, of course, there's a whole B plot of, you know, some random Countess girl dying from oropathy, but then waking up with the priestess in some subdimension of the simulated universe, and then being showed the secrets of the entire universe and all knowledge possibly gained from Oranginium. And then she's like, well, I want to return to Terra now. She's like, sure, you can go back to life. And now she started like some sort of weird movement cult thing, I don't know, about saving infected, and that's a thing. Don't know if that's gonna have any play out in this. But we are, in this, returning to Ursus. There's a little blip of that. The Ursus self-government club, school club, girls whom are not even in school anymore, but are returning to Ursus. But now I guess everyone's returning to Ursus. And that's my shoddy recap with no preparation. Fool's salvation. Fill the emptiness and confusion with words. The State Council of Ursus, 1099. Okay, we're back in the past. Could someone please tell me how much longer His Imperial Majesty will allow this charade to continue? A day, a month, perhaps a whole year? I've quite frankly had enough already. The Victorians have gained the power to control catastrophes. And even those devil savages have built battleships that fly in the sky. And yet, here we are supposed to waste our time discussing how to deal with this jester? Sir, if I may, this is a kindness bestowed upon us by His Imperial Majesty. After all, many citizens continue to believe the madman still possesses some form of noble virtue, and that is why His Imperial Majesty was willing to allow the judgment to be publicized. The limit was 7 days, and as of moments earlier, it has been 6 days and 21 hours.
Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Are we supposed to sit here and endure these obscenities, hoping the madman will come into his senses at the toll of the bell on the final day?
Sorry, sir, but I'm afraid so. The good news is once the bell tolls, the State Council will begin voting here and now. And when the time comes, you will never have to endure this ever again.
I know that, of course. Alright, now get out. The clown's death may be a foregone conclusion, but until he's in the ground or buried, burned to ash, he will still be Ursus's last urodstvo.
Yep. That was a word. Urodstvo means foolishness, I guess, but also comes up with a specific I guess I don't know what this is. Foolishness for Christ refers to a behavior such as giving up one's worldly possessions upon joining an aesthetic order or religious life, or deliberately flaunting society's conventions to serve a religious purpose, particularly of Christianity. So, a holy fool, I guess. Potentially. Silent soldier. She's got metal little claws on her gloves.
Huh? Did my eye deceive me? That looked like an Imperial Guard uniform.
Is he back already? The break didn't last 5 minutes. He didn't even have a sip of water during his speech. The final speech. All eyes are focused on an out-of-place, ragged man walking to the center of the council hall in big strides. He is standing tall, yet his limbs seem relaxed. There is no hint of worry for the future or signs of pain that come from the struggle of survival on his face. Barely 5 minutes ago, he made a speech here about love, compassion, and how he forgives all those who decided his death. His 6-day-long speech has fatigued his audience, yet he appears completely unaffected. He raises his hand, and all around him immediately falls silent. He begins to speak with a smile.
My dear friends, or perhaps those who regard me as an enemy, surely all of us know that this is the end. As such, I shall not be discussing the meaning of love or proclaiming my forgiveness to you all for all the mistakes you have made and all that you put me through. What I shall now discuss is the future of a blind, illiterate man.
Preposterous.
We must keep in mind that recounting history is a most noble power, and as such a power can easily blind us. For 2 decades, His Imperial Majesty has shared his glory with his subjects, yet they have never made the necessary preparations to accept his blessings. I have never once doubted the Tsar's kindness. However, a kindness that is not of time, or that is out of time, may as well be poison. No doubt the rebellious armies in the northern tundra infected have proven my point. The despicable villains raised their rebellious heads and spilled their vile blood on these holy lands. The arrogant scholars proclaim that they have mastered the truth, yet their harmful words feed on souls of innocent like wicked worms. This ignorant arrogance propagated like wildfire. For this, the masses have forgotten what it means to be humble. The Empire has forgotten what it means to be kind. And now our grand Empire and her citizens find themselves alienated from one another. I can see the past and the future. Not because I am wise, I am only a fool. Rather, the trajectory of the future is already written in the trails of the past. I do not regret revealing to the masses the future that I saw. Even if I must stand trial for this, I have no choice but to spread this prophecy. I saw the end of Ursus. I saw the fall of a great empire. And that is why I am standing here today. I ask His Imperial Majesty the Tsar to prevent all of this. If my worthless life is the price to accomplish this, then please, by all means, even if more blood needs to be spilled to cleanse Ursus of its filth, then I beg His Imperial Majesty to spill it. For an even greater cause, and for Ursus's eternal glory. Once this trial is over, no matter the sentence, I shall begin my sacred journey. Again and again I shall extol the virtues of humility in an attempt to restore our unity and the Empire's glory. Perhaps you think me an arrogant man overstepping my place, but I lead no armies and make no laws. Perhaps you think I am fatally ill. I am not a madman, nor am I out of my mind. My hands are emptier than even those of the junkmen. My clothes are more tattered than even those of the infected. All I've done, my mistake, is to see a different history and to hear different voices than the others. The traditions that drive us never to whitewash our pain, long buried deep underground, will again be unearthed. The cries that compel us never to attempt diminishing this cruelty, long fallen to silence, will ring again loud and clear. When that time finally arrives, perhaps our great nation's future will change for the better. All angers will be quelled, and all sins will be forgiven, and all pain, all of it will be assuaged by the purity of patience.
Northern Tundra Wilderness. Year unknown. Quick, run! Keep running and don't look back, just like the others. No, we won't get away. We can't run from this, even if we make it out of Ursus. Nothing but death awaits. Ugh, ugh. Stop breathing so hard. You're gonna breathe the snow in and choke. Oh, snap.
Indeed. He will choke on his blood.
Ugh. What? How did you break free so fast? No. Impossible.
You are a clever one, but it is not enough. The illusion you cast on me was rooted in your own experiences, to a certain extent. Your mistake was not realizing that putting us through the pain in your illusion is like trying to shift mountains with a feather. At the very least, this demonstrated your power. You have what is needed to become its replacement.
I told you. I don't know a thing about you and your demonic power testing, and I'm not interested.
This is not an invitation. This is an ultimatum. Of course, you have been able to save them not once, but twice. Or not twice, but 3 times even. But before I tired of this. But I tire of this charade now.
Stay back, unless you want to take away my corpse.
Your voice is no longer calm. You are beginning to doubt yourself. What is the price to use the Urvodsta's power when you are not one?
I don't understand what you're getting at.
All things have a price, and you are nearing your end.
Perhaps we're both gonna die together at that end. Just us.
So you did not hear them. Or perhaps you simply do not have the energy left to notice more. You do not hear the sound of those footsteps in the snow. You are trying to save these people, even if it means sacrificing yourself to kill us. Yet you are unable to hear that they are only meaningless parasites. They are never willing to stray too far from their homeland. They claim to be unwilling to turn their backs on their motherland and hold on to the meagerest glimmer of hope. If they choose to run, they intentionally slow their steps or even turn back to face their deaths. By leaving this place, they will become unable to confirm their own existence, even if this existence would bring them nothing but despair. Unfortunately, your warning is meaningless.
What?
Just as you told them, do not look back. I don't wish to bring Ursus a Yorvotso, whose bodily functions are ruined. This would waste a lot of time. Even with your abilities, it's hardly a fair deal. Thus, I recommend you give up and come with me.
I'll say it again, too. I have no idea what an Ururvotso is, and I have no interest in becoming one. Besides, even if I go with you, what about the infected? The ones you chased into a dead end?
They have their own destiny to walk.
No.
Perhaps you should speak your mind more clearly.
I said no. I need to. There is silence and tension all around. A complete sentence has yet to surface out of the ether. The ether? And the snow continues to fall around them, but the black entity has stopped marching forward. Before the next cluster of snow even touches the ground, a dark mist has already begun to spread.
Stay.
He suddenly loses his urge to continue forward. The other half of his cognition, stripped of reason, waits for the sight he saw earlier to reappear.
The same trick won't work twice.
But nothing. There is nothing. There is only the inexplicable pause, the pitch-black substance endlessly emanating from him, and the thick dust accumulated from the mist. Almost like there is black snow falling.
What? But the demon inside of me has but a slight leak. Yet you are able to use my power to shackle me.
I'm just using the illusion and that filth trapped in your body to make you face yourself. No more meaningless struggles, else you will die in your own dominion. Now sleep. Are Uruzvotso in this people who can control collapsal energy? Naturally, I guess. Alright, what is this word? My god, that's what I figured it probably was. Oh boy, Jamoy. Boy, are you okay? That black monster is still coming after us. Ah. Yeah. He won't chase you anymore. What? Quick, get out of here. Head south before he comes to. And don't you turn back again. You have to leave this place if you want to live. What are you talking about? He won't chase us anymore. What's that supposed to mean? Nah. Are you saying you managed to convince that unreasonable lich? Enough, go. Go where? The preacher told us before, those who turn their backs on the motherland can scarcely be called human. We don't want that. We don't want to turn our backs on the Tsar, on Ursus, and you managed to get him to stop chasing us. You saved us and you accomplished the impossible, but you still won't tell us your name. Just who are you? It's not important, Oh, are you perhaps the Uruvotso who vanished long ago? What? But the Uruvotso should be in a splendorous palace of deity Grifferberg, at the Tsar's side. No. Right. If you don't belong here, then this blessing received is a stolen one, and in that case, it's only fair that we were punished for it. We must endure, we must persevere, we must be silent, but we haven't been able to do any of that. Even so, you protected these sinful souls. In that case, you must be the Uruvotso. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the kindness and compassion to offer the infected a helping hand as equals. In that case, there is only one name you could bear. The name that you don't want us praising, the name shared by all Uruvotsos. Gabrielis. Or Gabrielis. Depending on the A sound. Gabrielis. It's the Uruvotso. Our Uruvotso has returned. The Uruvotso? What? Like the one in the tales? It's the Uruvotso that Mama said would love us even if we had the stone disease. Even if it's not by our side? Yes, it's her. She has returned. She defeated the villains and saved us. That's only something the Uruvotso could do. The Uruvotso has returned. Uruvotso has returned. This is sick art. The boisterous crowd and their hands all gush toward her. They keep pushing and pulling like waves splashing upon a beach, all in an attempt to so much as touch the corner of their idol's shirt, even if her attire is hardly any different from the tattered clothing they are wearing. Fully surrounded, she is no longer able to prop herself up or think. The moment her knees twitch and fall to the snow, she seems as though she is going to collapse and pass out right there and now. But she can't, not here. The royal guard is still here, and those executioners who want her to use her to kill even more people are still here. She can't lose her eyes. She can't close her eyes. She can't give up just yet. Yeah. That moment, she even seems to think that her tongue is once again working with her mouth to clearly enunciate her words. However, her body simply curls up quietly and gets smaller and smaller. She endures it until the pain subsides. Uruvotso! She is not the Uruvotso, yet there is a price to pay. And despite being the one mistaken for the Uruvotso, she doesn't know what's the price that she has to pay for this absurd charade. Sometimes not knowing the price is itself a price. Mantra, what's wrong? Was that mantra? I think that was mantra. The leader's quiet voice suddenly echoes in all of the Rhode Islanders' minds. Now I have to determine what I want her to sound like. Well, workshop it. Everyone stop. This. Repeat. Everyone, stop immediately. The area ahead is demonically corrupted. Demonic corruption here? But aren't we 1/3 of an Ursus away from Sami? How could this possibly... Doctor. This may not be normal demonic corruption. It's dominion. Man, Elysium had to deal with Seaborn, and now he has to deal with demons. He gets around. Central Far North District. I didn't read the rest. Radiant Squad's last known coordinates should be around here. According to the timestamp of the signal sent back to the city, they last sent out a message 10 days ago. The laboratory she mentioned is roughly 3 kilometers up ahead. Monster, have you faced the Royal Guard before? And are you able to analyze anything here as well? I'm looking. Based on the scale and shape of the corruption, this is very likely to be caused by Dominion. Right, a fight against the Royal Guard should probably took place here. It's strange though. For such an intense battle, there aren't any traces of arts nearby. I understand your worry, Doctor. But knowing Radian, she would definitely have tried to leave tracks we could decipher. At the very least, this explains something happened here that called for the Royal Guard's involvement. Clearly, that Grand Duchess is hiding something from us. Radiant Squad may be in an extremely dangerous predicament. Correct. Whether they are going after Radian or the laboratory, it seems we need to pick up the pace. There's a good intro into like seeing more of Ursus culture. They don't just oppress the like infected. Like their entire society, based on what that like woman was talking about, that old woman, is like ingrained societal despair in order to try to get probably control the masses, which is very bleak. Distant dawn. There is no light to bear witness here. What kind of team do we want? Guess there's not a lot of characters to go off of right now, so I'll just keep it as it is. We need to find a safe route to the Research Institute. Elysium? Central Far North Mining District, Ursus. Looks like my equipment's not working right. It can't detect the precise range of the contamination. I think this is the miner's accommodation. The real danger here might be whoever's still around, really. This is demonic contamination we're talking about. Captain says there's no trace of any mental activity in the entire mine, human or animal. At the very least, the contamination hasn't blocked the way to the Institute. It's mostly headed south, actually. We can swing a detour around the north. It'll take us roughly 3 hours longer than the original plan, but the time loss will be manageable. Nods. I guess... I wonder what category Mantra's telepathy falls under. Divination, I guess? Unless it's something to do with being a Yorotsvo. Wow. I've been thinking this for a while now, but you two work really well together. Elysium and Mantra have been working together for many years now. Of course, you could say I'm Rhode Island's most experienced operator when it comes to working with the captain. It takes a lot out of her to speak, so if it's not an emergency, I get to be the one passing on the message. So, what do you think, Doctor? If we set off now, we should make it before sunset. Not that the sun sets in the Ursine far north this time of year. We set off right now. Get our friend up to speed on our detour. Oh, it's the guard woman from the Parliament thing. Or the State Council, not Parliament. Don't far behind now, Aloysius. Aloysius, is that? Can I find out how to pronounce that name, maybe? Might be Aloysius. Perhaps. I like that. I'll go with that.
sorry. I was just inspecting the mining equipment. Nothing to do with our travels together. What's going on? Why did you stop for so long? According to the map, we're very close to the Institute. Don't tell me you found some... thing. It's traces of Dominion. The Royal Guard was here. You don't seem shocked. I hope you're not insinuating that I'm hiding something, Gosposha Amya, or I'd be very hurt.
Gospoja? Maybe that just means lady or something? Yeah.
I hope you share any pertinent information with us, at least while we are collaborating. What do you know about the whereabouts of the Royal Guard? First of all, only the Tsar himself knows the authority, or has the authority to know the comings and goings of the Royal Guard, let alone a lowly sergeant such as myself. But honestly speaking, after the illustrious Grand Duchess of the Far North declared martial law and shut down the mine, the Royal Guard showing up would not be much of a shock. Then, if they're already conducting an investigation on their own here, where does that leave you? You're a clever one, aren't you? The news of abnormal infected miners in far north, or central far north, has made waves, and many are curious. Naturally, while most Ursine have a right to curiosity, they do not have the same right to information. Please understand that as a sergeant, I am limited in what I am allowed to say. I hope my explanation will not cause too much confusion, Gospoja Amya. No, it's fine. I understand the position you're in. I have never minced words about how this job could improve the resume of an Imperial God's woman like me, though I did not imagine it being much clearer or easier. Anyhow, that dream is dead. The Royal Guard being involved is a bad omen, no matter how you look at it. In that case, are you still set on traveling with us? Of course! I chose to take on this task, and quitting halfway would hardly be a decent thing to do. Before we travel onwards, shall we reaffirm our trust in one another? I look forward to our continued cooperation, just like the time we met.
"3 days ago, Bresk, far north Ursus. Elysium, give us some direction." Mierda. The signal's all laggy. It's like there's something interfering with our encrypted frequency. Whatever, not important. 10 guardsmen to your west, turn right at the next crossing.
What are you talking about? The west is on our right.
Did I say right? Ugh. Do you see the city hall? Go in the opposite direction.
I see it, but the crossing ahead is where the plates are disconnected.
What? There's nothing like that on this stupid map. Well, you're practically surrounded by guards, so it's your only way out.
Got it. Can you keep up, Amya? I can. Hold on tight, Doctor.
Doing my best here.
Your best isn't good enough. Fine, I'll hold on to you instead.
You alright, Doctor? Maybe next time I could try running by myself. That's not happening. Yeah, I'm good. Huh. Glad you're doing so well. Guess I can relax then. We've arrived at the designated location, Elysium. Elysium? Don't stop. I think there's otherwards. The line cut out. The terminal says Elysium's still moving, but we don't have any way to re-establish communication. It's like short-range comms have been unstable ever since we entered Bresk. There's also no way of telling if it's because of the far north's extreme weather or human interference. I am curious though, why would Bresk have so many guards to detain intercity merchants? It is rather strange. There haven't been any issues with the ID cards Closure forged for us. We forged them, huh? Maybe we're not the only ones they're watching out for. But putting that aside, Bresk is supposed to be a quiet city. So it's strange it's so fortified. This isn't anything like the intelligence we had. If this goes on, we won't make it into the mining district. Doctor, shouldn't we rendezvous with Mantra's team and discuss... Doctor, finally got you. Keep moving, there are guards heading your way. I think I figured that out, thanks. They're fast. Get behind me, Amiya. No, don't engage.
Alright, interloper scum, hands up.
Let's take a deep breath here. What laws have we violated?
You trespassed into industrial zone and attempted to infiltrate a private factory, violating Bresk migration regulations and Ursine urban public security measures.
Could I ask you to reconfirm, sir? When we entered the city, I'd never heard about any prohibition on foreigners entering an industrial zone.
It's a new regulation. Went into effect just after you reached Bresk. You will be detained under the law, and then public security will decide if you are to be deported or exiled considering your circumstances.
Isn't that the same thing? If we inadvertently violated Bresk's new regulation, then I deeply apologize. We're just here to look for an intercity merchant. It was stated clearly in the itinerary declaration we submitted upon entry to the city.
Save it for public security.
There may be a way for both of us to save time here. Pulls out a wad of cash. I believe Bresk, Pearl of the Far North, treats its guests very well. I'm sure the Grand Duchess is kind, as the rumors say.
Enough of that. I don't give a damn, I'm just doing my job.
Sir.
This way.
No, sir, we can't delay any longer. I'm sorry. You see Amiya shift her body. Serendipitously protecting you, Monster observes your surroundings, looking for a way out.
You don't know how things work around here. Get them.
Roaring roar. She still can roar. Amazing.
What are you standing around for? Get in there already. What, can't even handle a little feline girl?
Sir, look behind them. That looks like the
Spit it out already.
The Imperial Guard.
Yorunda, Those pretentious bastards should be in Griffinburg. What would they be doing in Bresk?
Yorinda sounds like a name, but I guess it's probably not. It means nonsense. Rubbish. But those clothes. Imperial Guard, question mark?
I am terribly sorry, sir, but I'm afraid she is right this time. You...
Allo... What was her name?
Aloysius Gorchakova, Sergeant of the Imperial Guard, Vanguard Battalion here from Deity Grifferberg. What are you playing at? I have a simple request for you. Overlook this little breach of protocol and release our pitiful guests. You're with them. Unfortunately, they are indeed my friends. Since you are now aware of my history with them, surely you'll do me this favor, yes? We're far from Grifferburg. Why should I care about that? Because I stopped by public security and filled out all of the paperwork.
Young Ursus waves some papers in her hand. In the dusky gloom of polar night, none can clearly see what's written on them.
But... if I were you, sir, I wouldn't play around with my future like that. There are many lost travelers, but rarely a chance to curry a favor with the Imperial Guard. Ah, yes. May I ask your name? Or your service number? All right, Sergeant Gorchakova. I'll report all of this to public security. You may go. May your authority be as eternally glorious as the Tsar himself. Thank you for the kind words, sir. But none has as eternal as a glory as His Imperial Majesty. The rest of us will have to leave that stage when the time comes. Well, I'll be off with our guests for now. Thank you for helping us get out of that sticky situation, ma'am. But why exactly did you... Shush. They're still close by. Also, my cute little countess. You may call me Aloysius. Ma'am is too formal, like guardswoman, or girl is too crude. I believe names are what's best for our current relationship.
Well, thank you for your help, Aloysius.
They most likely thought you were ordinary traitors. Easy to shake down for a quick charbonnet or two. Some say they treat Colombian same way they treat Colombian sightseers. But you are hardly tourists or traitors now, are you?
Let's cut to the chase. Holds out money.
Good, I appreciate candor. I will answer your questions, but not here. Once you have gathered your friends, we can go somewhere far from prying eyes and ears.
We don't have much time.
Relax. I won't be wasting your time. This is all in service of your goal.
I just want the doctor to bribe a guard.
Well, here we are. Where is here? An abandoned apartment. As far as I know, the guards don't care for these empty old districts. An empty plate may sound wasteful, but it is true. No matter how the Deity Greffelberg Times try to cover it up,
It is widely known fact that the population of the far northern cities has been dwindling these last few years. As time goes by, this place becomes deserted, and the plate will be discarded, left to rust in the wilderness, like all other abandoned plates. Aloysius, we need to know exactly why you came looking for us now, ideally. Vigilant stare. Could I ask you to lighten up a little, please? There are a lot of you, and only one of me. What kind of threat could I possibly pose to people of your caliber? Could I ask the Fidia lady standing outside the door to tell your friends that I am not lying? Captain says there's nobody else here. The district is safe. I'd hope the Imperial Guard would at least treat us to dinner. You're a funny one, my hooded friend. It takes a clever mind to grasp humor. Once we have discussed our important business, I'd be happy to entertain you with a meal, if you are still interested. Firstly, since I've already introduced myself, may I have the pleasure of knowing your names? We come from Victoria, and still insisting on that, you went into the industrial zone to meet an intercity merchant, a widow who goes by the name of Olga. A very reliable cover story, one that will fool a vast majority of the city port's officials. But no matter how you put it, it is rare for a commercial party in nomadic city to be using military-grade encrypted communications. Was it you intercepting our communications? No. I would never do something so crude. It may have been the Aurora, or the recently upgraded defense equipment. You truly are unlucky, coming to Bresk during the most interesting time it has ever seen. I have been honest on my part, but you still have things you wish to keep hidden. Then I'm afraid we have to break things off here. We're a pharmaceutical company. Rose Island. You might have heard of us. See? Honesty isn't so painful, is it? Rhode Island. I have heard this name mentioned many times while investigating infected rumors from all across the land. Based on what I have pieced together from these tales, you lot are the stuff of legends. No matter how true they are, the most recent instance I've encountered your name was at that paper you published about aberrant changes in the infected. I never thought you'd be interested in oropathy studies. Pardon me for letting you down, but not every newly minted Gritherberg noble is an uneducated lout. There is not a nation in this land that can overlook the infected question, though their policies in answering may be differ. Anyone with a modicum of common sense would know just how important the scientific achievement of yours is. But there is one thing I am curious about. Despite this groundbreaking discovery, Rhode Island has got a low profile, instead of using it to do more business. Well, this doesn't explain why you knew our whereabouts. Oh, that can be easily explained. I think anyone who goes into the far north central mining district now is doing it for the same reason. You mean you also want in? What, do you not? We need to get in. Sure enough. You don't have to wait to get into the mining district, as it turns out. I have need of some oropathy specialists. Perfect recipe for cooperation. So you want us to go into the district with you? Of course. The authorities here will not look kindly on some Gritherberger sticking her nose into far northern affairs after all. As things are, your cover as merchants will do you no good. Nor will it help me, so let's forget all the masks and red tape and shake hands right here. That is one solution to all of our problems. But what is it that you want to do in the district? And what do you need from us? Was I not clear? I'm hoping Rhode Island will accompany me into the mining district to collaborate on an investigation into the infected affair. The infected affair? What exactly are you referring to? Oh, my dear, sweet, naive little countess. My patience has its limits, you know. There is no time to play dumb. No, that's a serious question. We lost contact with one of our mobile medical teams in the far north central mining district, and we need to find them. We really have no idea what this infected affair is, and I hope you will elaborate. You went into the district just for... Oh, wait. So you really don't know? That's impossible. To my knowledge, you've built many more medical posts all across Ursus in the past few years. Simple doubt replaces the suspicion on the young woman's face, before finally shifting into sudden realization. She understands how her assumptions have led her astray. No. You just said mobile medical team. No fixed offices mean no steady access to a network of contacts with the latest intelligence. I don't know what Rhode Island is currently facing, but it seems the information you have is limited. And because this is Ursus, you have been unable to do much. Because of your lack of information, you have been blindly running into walls this whole time, haven't you? Short Poberi. I was too impatient. Literally means devil pick it up, but it means damn it. We really don't know what this infected affair is. Forget it. Forget I said anything. That favor before was free of charge. No need to thank me. Wait. The very fact that you came looking for us means there is the possibility we can work together on this. Could you not tell us what exactly happened in the mining district? I really should have thought things through before making more of a choice. And here I was thinking you were racking your brains on how to enter the district upon hearing the news. You should know that this information is worth quite a lot in the black market. We're not the kind of organization, but that doesn't matter right now. We have a natural reason to be invested in anything to do with the infected. That's why you came looking for us, wasn't it? Please tell us. Fine, fine. Since I'm already here, I may as well do something, even if it's just for some infected. The infected are Ursine citizens too. You're correct, precious little countess. The infected are indeed Ursines, and that is before we mention those miners that the Tsar personally promised life, not survival. The miners are the backbone of Ursus, keeping its war machines running, a fact that those corrupt old nobles and their puppets haven't realized yet. But even they must know that Ursus must change. My word. What am I even babbling about? Good thing those sharp-tongued, poison-spitting colleagues of mine aren't here, or they would be laughing me into my grave. You should not feel ashamed for this. Spoken words are like spilled sister milk. We freeze solid in this weather. So what is this infected affair? It sounds like it has to do with the infected miners. Listen, if you dare leak any of this, you have my word that no matter what you have to say, we will not disclose it. There is no benefit for making an enemy out of Ursus, we know that well. Give me a moment, I need to figure out where to start. You know, of course, at Bresk's borders, the far north central mining district, and is also the largest nomadic city in the north of Ursus.
This means the city administrates a total of 30,000 square kilometers worth of mines scattered far across the far north, alongside 200,000 infected. That's a lot of infected. We are familiar with the basic facts of this place. But I did add... No, I did not add an extra 100. That is 200,000. My god. For a second, I thought I misread. Please, don't look at me like that. Sorry. I knew this sort of thing, this sort of talk would anger you. But the Tsar does not wish for these infected miners to be treated as cheap labor. On the contrary, his decree has shown a lot of care for the people of Brest. Things have been going rather smoothly in the city these past few years. Even, well, until 3 months ago. Yes, that is where your company's area of expertise comes in, along with that paper. 3 months ago, large numbers of abnormal infected were discovered in the central mining district. Their symptoms were very similar to the ones you described in your paper. 3 months ago, wasn't that? You mean, that's the reason Brest is under martial law? How many abnormal infected are in the district? That's the question. Right now, nobody knows just how many normal infected there are in the central mining district. It was 3 months ago when Rose Island was destroyed, I'm guessing?
If you're stumped, just leave the hardest task to me.
Miners, rise up. Defeat the soldiers.
Hurry! Standing by.
Real estate question. This wonderful realm or a panoramic view of hell? Which did you want?
I'm listening.
Make divine judgment traditional.
You can't hide your fear.
Ha!
Standing by.
It is your tyrannies that fuel this flame.
Che posto stupendo.
I assume we have to protect the miners, which is a nice callback to the original early episodes where we had to protect the other guys and Ursus. Except these guys fight back.
Good, good. I had no idea you were so clever and learned. I was going to ask you help me make my yacht hum, but with such a good head on your shoulders, I'm feeling a little bad now.
I forgot Ursus has like bears in their army. It's been a while since I've seen them, I feel like. Shadowy path. Seek a path that can be seen even in darkness. Hidden tunnel toggles the standby deployed status of minor gorillas. Heavily populated facility creates toxic pollution around it that prevents deployment and makes enemies invisible. Rock walls. Units cannot be deployed on this tile. A lot of mechanics.
This should work.
I never did get used to the stench of war.
A strange pollution covers this place. There are invisible enemies hidden within. I can't act and I can't see what's going on inside. Operators cannot be deployed within. It would be nice to have someone who's familiar with the environment. Fails in attack range with toxic pollution. Well, they really want you to have mantra, I guess. I'm gonna have to bring invisible seers. Probably Totter. Are you here? Are you our rescue? The strange pollution is still spreading. We know the area, but if you need help, we can help you deal with it. Problem is those heavily polluted facilities. Destroy them and clear the pollution. We typically operate out of a hidden tunnel. Come to us if you need help. Toggles minor guerrillas assembled here between deploy and standby mode.
I'll leave the support to you.
Life, brittle as frost, fragile like leaves.
Miners automatically attack enemies. Some enemies may be attacked by multiple miners. The limitations of the environment mean that the battle is likely to grind to a stalemate. Medic operators can heal miners in range, though with lesser effect.
My bodily fluids aren't the only thing that's chilling.
Open fire!
And then miners destroy the pollution.
Focus fire!
Neat.
Fire!
It's a bit like an auto battler sort of thing. Whoa, are those new shield guards? They got capes. I've come to help, but it doesn't look like there are any good places. Don't worry, we can clean up rock walls. Thank you for your help. Let's do this together.
Let's chill down some hotheads.
They're cool shield. They're cool looking shield guards, but they're not our shield guards, you know. That's what these are. These are bad
Life,
shield guards.
brittle as frost, fragile like leaves.
Got it.
Forward. Keep screaming! alert. I bet it does!
Mission accomplished.
We may have achieved a perfect victory, but we still can't let our guard down.
Army Shield Guard. Shield guards of the Ursus army. In the distance, a faint black line presses slowly forward. No one knows what their massive shields signify, only that screams keep coming from the cloud of dust in their wake. Army Infiltrator, which looks like a Wraith guy. Can't be blocked. It's a Wraith guy. Members of the Infiltrator Squad. They have already infiltrated every corner of the battlefield, waiting for a chance to strike when the main army arrives. Minor Guerrilla. Resistance unit formed by miners, many of whom are still relatively young. They are not a rampaging mob. All they want to do is protect their families who are still underground. Path in sight. Life is a bog that you keep sinking deeper and deeper into until it swallows you. Speaking of bleak, are all these descriptions just going to be really bleak? Meeting room, New Rhode Island. So we're calling it New Rhode Island now? Any news on the sarcophagus? The very latest... That's not our voice. The very latest activity we know of involving the sarcophagus came after the Chernobog Lungman incident, when the Ursine government retrieved the entire system. As for what they actually plan to do with it, we haven't been keeping it under... Or... Let's restart. As for what they actually plan to do with it, they've been keeping it under tighter wraps than ever. There's nothing more than about it in Caltz's records. It's not like we can directly ask the Ursine government to borrow it. Why do we need that sarcophagus? What are we doing? What's the plan? Looking at the official register made after the Chernobog Research Institute was destroyed, there were no survivors other than Sergei. We did manage to find some clues when looking into what happened to him afterwards. He had established a new institute to continue researching the sarcophagus. In the short period of time that the institute was operating, one name really stood out to us. Artem Chadavyev. He was a vice director of Sergei's institute, but he's a complete ghost, with no verifiable academic or political background to speak of. We may be able to make a rational deduction that this man has a special connection to Sergei? Or to the Institute? No matter what his connection may be, he might be the key to our breakthrough. We need to find this Artyom. No, things get a little more complicated from here on out. He's proven to be very hard to track ever since Sergei's Institute shut down. According to Kautz's intelligence, he died of heart failure in the Grifferberg Imperial Sanatorium last winter. Maybe we can look into people he knew. Great idea. That's what I was thinking too. There's another researcher who had a connection to Artyom. Ksenia Markovna Neladova. We have a lot more detail on her background. Before the sarcophagus incident, she She had briefly served as Ilya's assistant at the Chernobog Research Institute and had crossed paths with Kaltsit. Recent intelligence indicates that she is currently in the Ursine far north, working at the Central Mining District Laboratory, administered by the city of Brest. That's where Artyom's final letter was sent.
It doesn't sound reliable, but it's the only clue we've got. We should go to this institute and find her.
I have to remind you, Doctor. While we are determined to bring Kaltsit back, we must thoroughly evaluate the risk of every mission.
Right, so we need the sarcophagus for Kaltsit? We don't even have a body. Sure.
Rhode Island cannot bear any more losses.
But
I'll go. Radian. Ursus has always been a dangerous place, and we have a very limited intelligence for this mission. And there are many important decisions the Doctor and Ami must take while Rhode Island is being rebuilt. Radian, I know you're a capable young woman now, Amia, but that is exactly why you need to stay here and handle our most important tasks. The latest news from Laterano is also worrying, and the Doctor will need to see it personally. Allowing Rhode Island to steady its footing and our new home is our top priority. You're right. If it were just an infiltration mission, then Misery Team would be the best choice, but information gathering is my team's specialty. Besides, there's no one better to send back to Ursus than me, is there? You make a real compelling argument, Radian. But it's your decision, Doctor.
so this is before Laterano, which means I guess us and Ursus is after Laterano, but that was only a 3 months time span. That we moved fast. This will be a very dangerous mission. Stay safe, Radian. Rhode Island cannot lose anyone else.
We will. We'll act with caution as a mobile medical team. The rest of you take care of yourselves while we're out, okay?
Did it say a time or anything? The title card is never shown in the log, unfortunately.
The rest of you take care of yourselves while we're out, okay? Of course. I hope that all of you come home safe.
Unless it was longer than 3 months. Because they definitely... Did we get a time skip when Monster was born? Did they give us a time for that? Because that wasn't instant. That happened later. After the new Rhode Island was being set up. So... Oh, that was only 1 month. Okay. Wow, if all of this has happened in a 3-month period, that's crazy.
I shall meditate and share his pain. One man's pain isn't everyone's pain. One man's sin is everyone's sin. May sinners repent with all their heart. May their sins be forgiven, and their souls find salvation.
Central Far North Mining District 5 days ago. They gotta come up with a shorter name for this place. The CFN, I guess. Wog! Ah! Oh my. Yes, the 5 stars appearing in the story. It's okay, Babushka. Don't be scared. It's Uchitel. He's chased away the patrol unit chasing us. We're safe for now. Yes, for now. Where else can we go? Where must we go to find shelter? Bluesky, are you hungry? I'll go ask Haley for another piece of bread. I'm fine. You're such a sweet child, but really I am. Go see Rankin. He has done so much, his spirit must be nearly worn away. Go see him. Do not let him burden any more than he already is. Uchitel. Yeah. Under the twilight sky, the young man's stern countenance eases. The cold soon cools, the warm blood staining his pickaxe. The enemy before him is completely routed. Don't kill me! You're not allowed to do anything to me, I surrender! But we haven't accepted that surrender. Tell me, how many of these squads are pursuing us? Short, I don't know. Every patrol unit's independent. We don't talk to each other. Tell me something I don't know, or I'll have no reason to let you live. Well, wait. Don't listen to me. The chips, you have it in you. The diagnostic chips. Chips? You mean the one used to check how infected we are? Rankin the Noble. Rankin the Hero, are you really so naive? Those chips send your coordinates to the miners' research facility and nearby guard posts the moment you try to leave the mining district, or the chip leaves your body. Boom! Losing a single leg won't be lucky, or would be lucky. Losing both is definitely possible. You won't be running away like that. That's messed up. Their oropathy monitoring chips are actually tracking chips and also explosives. Can Ursus get any more evil? How evil can we make this country? Or just give up already, Rankin. You think you can leave this mine by killing a patrol unit? Is this a recent thing? Might be a this place thing, maybe, but still. There's nowhere to go. Ursus will chase. There's nowhere to go. Ursus will chase you forever. Surrender. It's the only way you won't die a miserable death. Don't listen to him, Rankin. The chips really did blow up. If they really did blow up, we'd have a bunch of three-legged burden beasts walking around. The patrol units are worse than bastards. And honest, one of them is like an aphid in winter. I got to know them before I became infected. Yeah. You've done enough already, Rankin. Leave this one to me. No. Stop killing people. We don't We don't need to do... Nobody's badly hurt. Uchitel.
Let him go.
Get back, Vitochki. What's the point in showing a man like him mercy? It was these bastards who killed Polina, all because she was caring for an unregistered child. She was pregnant when they hanged her. Have you forgotten all the terrible things they've done?
Thank you, Vitochki.
I remember you. You were the meekest of all the children. You really have a happy ending. Even if the rest of these scum... Uchitel.
At least I didn't let him bleed out slowly in the snow. Stand up, Vitochki. Go to the back and find that doctor for me. I'll go get Nitzkto and tell him to gather everyone who wants to leave the mining district to the south dormitory. Get them ready. We need these chips out of us.
You believe what that guy said?
Doesn't matter. We need the chips out of our bodies, even if they don't explode. They definitely transmit our location. The patrol units have already found us once, and we don't know when the next squad will show up. If this keeps up, we'll be on the back foot the entire time.
Alright, I'll get it done. Uchitel, you promised me.
Now you're still here. I didn't promise you anything, Vitochki. Besides, if the rest of the bastards in his unit are dead, why should he be any exception? Because of his arrogance? Because of his ridicule?
No.
Never mind. You won't understand. Forget what I just said. Take this.
What is it?
A stopwatch. I found it in the Institute. Should still work. We get a minute. I'll teach you how to use it. From now on, you won't need to live your life counting meaningless numbers, worrying about a miscount leaving people dead in the mines. At least now. Go, Vitochki. Go help me find her.
Would you tell your hand is shaking?
Hush. Go do what you have to do.
At least let me pray that your soul can be saved.
Even though you've seen how these men treated us, and seen how I killed them.
Yes.
Don't be so quick to bless others, or to forgive them, Vitochki, me included. Now go already. We don't have time.
Господин Rangen.
Hello, Gospoja Serafina. Even though we have not known each other for long, I want to believe that, since your medical team was willing to come to such a remote place to treat the infected, you are people I can trust. I am sorry that I now have no choice but to ask for your help.
Please, go ahead, as long as it's something I can help with.
I just learned that inside every miner, there's a tracking chip that could explode at any moment. We need a way to extract them so we can escape the patrol units. I am prepared to serve as a test subject myself. If it is successful, please perform the surgery on the others. If it does unfortunately explode, then I hope you will be able to give me first aid.
If I die, what if she explodes too? She's nearby.
If I die, then I ask you to tell everyone waiting for me about this. Now I must ask you to leave.
Oh, he was just going to remove himself, I guess. Okay. No, let me do an examination first. May I?
Go ahead.
I regret to inform you these chips really could explode. Oh gosh. They contain miniaturized high-powered oranginium bombs. If the chip does not receive electrical signals from the
local district relay or the human body, it will trigger an explosion. If you hope to get everyone out of this district, then you must remove the chips. Amazing. Is this your arts at work? Of course. I may be able to temporarily copy the signal to fool the receiver, but I must warn you, this still carries a great deal of risk.
We can't afford to wait for a perfect solution. Your idea is good enough.
One moment, then.
Radiant starts using her arts, causing beams of energy to resonate at the same frequency as the chip's receiver. Ronkin nods and sits down, grasping the hilt of his dagger. It is cold, smooth, and solid as he rubs it against the calluses of his palm.
You'd best back away from me a bit, Doctor.
That won't be happening. This is the first time I've tried it, so I need to observe it in real time. I can guide your hand since hand using nerve impulses. Take care not to detonate the chip.
Incredible. It's a shame we didn't meet sooner. I hope we still will have the chance to chat after this.
Ronkin wipes his dagger with some alcohol, pointing its blade at the scar on his leg before plunging it into its flesh. She didn't have a scalpel on her or something?
Phew. It worked, right?
The youthful miner nearly leaps up, forgetting the cut of his leg oozing blood.
Calm down, your wound needs dressing.
Of course. Thank you, Doctor. I owe you my life. You're truly amazing. I have never seen a physician as skilled as you. You even remind me of an Ursan soldier.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Sorry, please do not misunderstand me. This is the highest praise I can think of. I mean the true Ursan soldiers, not those patrol unit brutes. The ones who drove off the invading Knights Mora and freed us from the tyrannical hippogriffs. They were true heroes. Oh yes. Have you read Igor Velicki's biography?
We should prepare for surgery on the others. How many will we need to operate on?
I'm afraid it's a number that will leave you and your colleagues running ragged.
My decoy electrical signal can cover the entirety of this area, and my colleagues can coordinate the surgeries. That being the case, I reckon we need to stay here for some time.
Time is something we're short on. Have the medical team prioritize the elderly and children, then teach the others to perform the surgery. Hand out some scalpels. My people are not squeamish.
I would appreciate if you did not make medical decisions for me.
No, Doctor. I need not need to order you around. Since the duty of leading everyone out of this mining district is mine, I need to make decisions accordingly. Patrol units can show up at any time. Extreme weather, lack of supplies, all things that will prove fatal. I hope we can reach an agreement on this.
No matter what happens, we need to be wary of infection. My team will oversee the sterilization procedures.
Then let's begin. Act first and discuss the future.
So the Knights Mora tried to invade Ursus in the past. That's interesting. I guess a reference to the Mongol invasions of Russia.
Blech. Yeah. Blech. Is this your limit? When we were eating smoked sausages back in Grifferberg, did you never wonder how they were made? Never went to see the slaughterhouses in the satellite cities?
Iri Nahui. That doesn't look Russian. But maybe it is. I guess it is. It means F off. Iri Nahui. Rotten hell, Rankin. Sikablach. I swallowed a bunch of snow, but I still can't get the smell of blood out of my nose. Next time, I have the chance. I'm dumping fresh burden beast blood into your soup. Well, fresh burden beast blood is expensive. a bucket can cost more than 100 Shervunsti. We can't afford that. This is a metaphor, damn it. I didn't even know you used to be a gourmet chef, Haley. My son transported that sort of thing when he was a truck driver. The Grifferberg nobles believed the blood of young Burnaby's would make them beautiful. He told me a lot of things about the city in his letters, but the last one I received was 7 years ago. I hope he's alright.
Then I'll have to ask you make sure Nikto doesn't mess with my dinner.
I'll make sure. Nobody's messing with anyone's dinner.
I hope this won't end up being our last meal.
Or I'll be cursing you to the grave, Ronkin.
Whatever you say, I'm in good spirits today. It's been so long since I felt this sort of freedom. We have finally broken our shackles. We are free now. What we want to do, where we want to go, and how we want to live is our lives. We can decide ourselves from now on.
You should save the poetry recital when we're actually safe. So what now?
The plan hasn't changed. We head south to the border with Kajimish. Find a village founded by the infected, the one that belongs only to the infected. There will be space for all of us there.
You're just believing this reunion without even knowing if they're the real deal.
No, I have my reasons to believe. A few years back when I was stationed at the border, I heard a lot about them. Information I could trust. They provided shelter for the infected, gave out medicine for free, and have fended off many patrol units who wanted to push around people like us. I believe we will find people who share our ideals there.
That just makes me think it's some kind of infected delusion. Or an army spinning up an excuse for a bigger share of taxes.
It makes me wonder why it took until now for a banner like this to be flown. If we find out they do not exist, then it should be us who raise the flag.
Here I thought your time on the border would have taught you better. Just imagine for a moment if you had saved that count back then instead of that infected. You could be a lieutenant right now, maybe even a captain. Patrol units like the one we ran into today would be licking your boots with a wave of your finger.
Then I should be even more grateful for the choice I made that day. Otherwise, I would not have had the chance to see this nation's true face. I'll learn what my life's greatest calling is. Our people have been duped and deceived for far too long. They believe their current lives are what they deserve, forgetting that what they should really have. This is not only a conflict between the infected and ordinary folk. If one day all the infected and Ursus died, they would use some other standard to decide who cast into the lines. Why do some have everything handed to them while others must struggle for survival? Who do the fruits of their bitter toil go to?
But who actually gets to say what people deserve? Maybe the way this land is the way things should be. Even if there were another Terra, even if civilization started over from scratch, things might not turn out any different from now.
No, I don't believe that. When you opened your eyes and actually looked at everything around us, did you not feel anger? When you feel such an instinctual rage, that means everything is wrong. You should know that based on what you've been through, Nikto.
Don't bring up that crap. It's ancient history.
Fine.
Even if it is, as you say, how far are we from the border? What other things will we run into on the way there?
I have a plan. Why do you think I asked you to gather up those chips? They didn't blow up when we took them out like out of us like other chips, which means they're still working as positioning devices. These things have brought us so much suffering. Why not use them to our advantage against the patrol units?
That's not what we agreed to when we decided to escape. You know our condition, Ronkin. How many of us can even move right now? Maybe half? We might be able to beat up 1 or 2 patrol units, but we can't hold off all of Ursus. The only thing causing more bloodshed would do is trap us here even further.
If we want to live, taking this step is only a matter of time. Every patrol unit lackey we kill is another spare ventilator in our hands. Any supplies we seize can be used to leave the ice fields and allow children like the Bluesky to live to see another day. Have you forgotten what gave us the opportunity to leave this place? Even if that thing can't be called human, we were the ones who killed it.
I don't know what you're talking about. You've become completely unreasonable before we've even left the mining district.
I don't want to fight over this, Nikto.
Uchitel? Nikto, you're here too.
What is it?
Nothing. I just came to see if you had eaten yet.
No, you don't need to ask this guy. His stomach's already full of his grand ideas.
You're not really wrong. You should focus on our physician friends. It was they who did all the hard work today.
I just went to see them. They're about to rest.
Good. You've worked hard too. How's the wound? Does it hurt?
I'm okay. Everyone's okay.
Really now. Everyone's been very brave. Go rest, eat your fill, then sleep tonight. Or sleep tight.
We don't have much food. My portion's not very big. Take care of yourself too, Uchitel.
But Tochkis really trusts you, Rankin, always calling you Uchitel like you're her teacher. Oh, I thought that was a name, but I guess it's not. Does it just mean teacher? Well, actually, someone has the last name Uchitel. Pops up immediately. Yeah, Uchitel just means teacher. Okay.
Everyone trusts you.
Everyone trusts you. They're waiting for you to get them out of here.
I know, which is why every word I tell her is what I know to be true in my heart. It is the same as when I had led everyone. I take the path I believe to be right.
Let's hope you are.
Relax a little, Nikto. Today is the day of our first victory. It's a good omen. No need to look so anxious. When someone awakens to the truth and decides to set off on our journey, it is the grandest of beginnings.
Quoting from Igor's biography again?
No, those are my own words. Trust me, Nikto, we are doing great things right now.
All surgeries complete, Captain. Some of the patients are developing fevers, and we're limited in what we can do. Got it. I'll go have a word with their leader after this, and do my best to ensure the wounded are provided with food and water. You've worked hard today. Get some rest. Taking care of ourselves is important too. Captain, we still need to... Far north is under martial law, and the weather is affecting our ability to communicate too. It's difficult for us to connect to the outside. What happened here will surely draw the attention of the Ursian authorities. We need to leave ASAP. We can't stay here. But do we really need to work with them? I'm worried that if we do, we'll be drawn into a conflict with Ursus. Rhodes Island has no reason to make an enemy of the Empire. But right here, right now, these are just people struggling to survive. Changing the lives of the infected has always been our mission. Besides, they have also helped us out a lot. Don't worry for now, just do your best to prepare for the unexpected. I'll keep trying to get in contact with our base in the city. If they can receive the information we sent earlier, I hope they'll notice the clues we left behind when they come to help us.
"3 days ago in Brest." Right, Brest Times. Get your copy here. Do you want one, Davuchka?
Oh, sure. How much?
Uh, 20 para, is that okay?
That's fine. But I don't have any spare change on me. Here, take this.
Thank you, Davuchka, you're amazing. Amia carefully places the entire chervil nets into the boy's palm. He quickly disappears around the street corner, as if frightened his benefactor might regret her decision and take it back. They keep mentioning the currency, and so I'm like, okay, how do I actually pronounce that? It's gonna keep coming up. Mia, what are you looking at?
That boy's clothes looked very thin.
I guess I wasn't actually that far off, really. Okay.
Bresk is colder than the Ursus I remember.
It was the winter the last time we were in Ursus, and Brest is further north than Chernobog.
I still remember. It was the first time I saw such intense fighting. I was so nervous I forgot to be scared. At the time I thought I would never see anything so dangerous again.
We've been through a lot since then. At least now there's no catastrophes or people chasing us. At least now I know who I actually am. True.
Yes. On that topic, Doctor, it's rather rare for us to have a chance to quietly watch a city like this, isn't it? Chernobog, Lungmen, Londinium, wherever we go, our memories seem to be filled with chaos and the fires of war.
We should remember what this city is like now. Let's check today's paper. Does it say why the mine's been blocked off? Jake said.
We might only be able to learn more once Aloysius has finished negotiating with the Grand Duchess. Aloysius, rather, not Aloysius. She said she would help us apply for a permit to enter the mining district, but how will she actually go about doing that?
She made sure we knew how limited our info is.
The Grand Duchess's office is right ahead. From the intelligence we gathered beforehand, her name is Yelizaveta Konstantinovna Lakovskaya. She's not the typical Ursi noble. Her policies are known for being kind to infected and non-infected alike. Every channel of information we checked describes her as a good person.
Who places bombs inside infected people? must be relative. A woman like that deserves more than just kindness. The Grand Duchess might also be a bright woman. I don't know. Her office is rather humble looking.
The buildings in Brest are relatively short and regular. It must be the style here in the far north. But looking at the map, all the surrounding buildings seem almost to envelop it. A rather unique location in terms of urban planning.
They're not letting us wait inside this time. A no-nonsense young lady.
Are you worried, Doctor? Honestly speaking, so am I. Even if Aloysius had made her thoughts on the matter clear, we still don't know her true goal.
Doesn't this all feel rather familiar?
Oh, you mean like in Lungmen? Chen really is no nonsense, isn't she?
Don't you mean hard to work with?
Let's go with strict. Chen treats others the same way she treats herself. That's how it was back then, that's how it is now. Oh, right. We got news from her before we left home. While she didn't go into details on her movements, she sounded well. When she heard about what happened, she promised that if Rhodes Island needed her, she would return.
We made a lot of friends, and a lot of left us too.
I still remember when we were working with Chen. The one who actually represented Rhodes Island and negotiated with Chief Wei was Dr. Katzit. Doctor, I'm worried that I won't be able to solve problems or get people to work together like she did. Also, we know practically nothing about Ursus's current circumstances or the Grand Duchess. Doctor,
We don't need to do what only Katzit could do. Be yourself, Anya. We'll find a way.
May I ask which of you is the Doctor of Rhodes Island? Her Imperial Highness, the Grand Duchess, invites you to meet with her.
Should the Grand Duchess be called Imperial Highness unless she's married to the Emperor?
My ears are sharp, so when I stop, you stop. Che posto stupendo.
Oh.
Standing by.
Guess we can't destroy those, only the miners can, okay.
can see me. So much the good flowers imbibe. The lady in suit and tie dance with her blade.
Oh, the pollution does eventually come back. Okay.
Okay, this is awkward, but I'm the only one who knows how to handle the chaos I created. The sky shattering! Switching forms.
So much the flowers imbibe. The lady in suit and tie dance with her blade.
Yeah, I don't know why I waited so long to just do that. I thought they'd move sooner. Yeah.
To drive them away with fire is easily done. But if we're to ensure they'll never come back to hurt us, then a fire is not enough.
Strength and numbers. Old friends, new friends. Let's start by saying hello. Because the miners can get rid of the pollution, so far, I don't know if we need to focus too much on invisibility or reveals. So we'll continue, but we'll see what the future brings. We thank our honored guests for your patience. Please follow me. You comply with the guard's request, patiently waiting again in the office lobby for Aloysius and the much-rumored Grand Duchess discussion to come to a close. The subdued interior has no clock or other timekeeping instrument, as if time is not a right conferred upon its visitors. You while away the minutes in utter boredom, thinking back on your own discussion not long ago.
Only the doctor's allowed to meet with her. I also think that's unreasonable. If something unexpected happens, there's no way for Amiya and I to protect you.
In the end, this is her domain. It does not seem like she's giving us any room to bargain.
Aloysius said she wanted to introduce us to the Grand Duchess, but we still don't know why she really wants us to help. My memory bank has no record of a young Ursine noble like her either. But a woman acting as a special ambassador, who also personally knows the Grand Duchess, must be extraordinary.
She has many secrets. The relationship between Griffinburger, Envoy, and the local noble is a subtle thing. But she did clearly say she wanted us to go with her to the mining district. We need to cooperate with her no matter what. It's the only chance we can get into the mining district.
But Rose Island has stepped into the site of Ursus, and we have no way of knowing how the local administration views us.
I've been in this sort of situation before.
I'll support your decisions, Doctor, but please be careful. Take a comm terminal at least. If anything happens, reach out immediately. We'll come get you right away, even if we have to smash the place up while we're at it.
I will if I have to, but... what is this mine lockdown hiding? The corridors of the building are exceptionally empty, just like the streets of the city it stands in. The moment you are led inside, a slight nod is all you are left with. Not a word has been past your guide's lips the entire time. Perhaps he trusts your intuition will lead you to the correct room, or perhaps he is used to putting visitors to the test. Fortunately, you had detected the warm scent of applewood smoke wafting off that guard, which takes you to the only door emitting such a smell. Kristen? A door that leads to a room tucked away in the corner was once pushed open. It is as if the looming, imposing stone walls of this chill gloom city have come together to hide a spot of sacrosanct tranquility. The first thing you see is a graceful ash blue figure standing at the other side of the room. Hello. Your Imperial Highness, the Grand Duchess Yelizaveta, her name is ridiculous, Yelizaveta Konstantinovna Lakovskaya. I can feel your nerves from here. You need not be wary. Please, call me Grand Duchess Elizabeth, as my friends do. I can tell that you are an individual of keen intellect. Her voice is gentle and innocent. Not at all what you expected. So the opposite of what I gave her? Okay. The mistress of the place slowly turns around. Oh snap. It's been so long since Arknights had a character like this. Also, maybe it's just the coat. Her shoulders look ginormous compared to her head. I welcome each and every guest to Bresk with open arms. Is this not the part where you introduce your friend, Elota? Oh yes, of course. This is the one I was just speaking about, the doctor of Rhodes Island's pharmaceuticals. You may call me doctor. It is an honor to be granted an audience. I hope I'm not too bold in paying you a visit. As I said, there is no need for such formality. Come forward, closer to the fire. My attendant shall fetch us some tea forthwith. It may be difficult for travelers from afar to adapt to Bresk in this season, though she may be remote. There are times when she is a warm and pleasant home. Has your journey here been a smooth one? Well, public security certainly cares for Bresk. Please believe me when I say that
all you have seen here is in service to maintaining the city's hard-fought serenity. Alota has already explained to me in great detail the excellent work our new Oropathy specialist friends have done in the field. Yours is a talent our city sorely needs at this moment. You require Oropathy specialists. Our young Tsar wishes to bestow his favor equally upon every Ursan citizen. He even wishes for the division of infected to no longer plague his people. It is for this reason that he labors himself to exhaustion, such that even the most steely-eyed courtier is left heartbroken at the sight. But rare is the one who truly understands how precious a treasure His Imperial Majesty's innocence is. We who call ourselves his followers must do all we can to enact his will. Bresk's borders the largest mining district in the far north, but the methods we have available to treat Oropathy fall short of His Imperial Majesty's ideals, which means we require some able doctors. If that is your Imperial Majesty's goal, Doctors, is the best partner you will find here. I have read Rhodes Island scientific papers for myself. Unlike those dusty old scholars of the Imperial Universities, who simply repeat the findings of others, Rhodes Island leads the vanguard in the field of Oropathy research. Oh my, I've never heard a proud young officer express such admiration for anyone before. Has working in Griffinburg changed you? I still distinctly remember your father grumbling to me about the awkward situations you would provoke at the ducal banquets. A rather embarrassing part of my past, Your Imperial Highness. If I may explain this admiration further, I have always respected those with true talent and ability, such as Your Imperial Highness and the Doctor here. I am grateful to I'm incredibly grateful for the reminder about my father. I nearly forgot to pass on his regards. This factory still produced uniforms of the highest quality for every soldier in the far north. His name can be heard at every banquet on the frontier. We had best return to the topic of our friend here. Let us speak plainly. What plans does Rhodes Island have for Bresk? We lost contact with a mobile medical team in the central mining district. Upon hearing your words, the Grand Duchess shows a split second of surprise, but does not forget herself. She looks toward Aloysius, and you notice the precise moment the young guardswoman's gaze turns evasive. The Grand Duchess lets out a long sigh as if she was vexed by a terrible burden. Oh dear, Doctor. That is how I should address you, yes? If this young lady has provoked a misunderstanding, then I do apologize. We welcome Rhodes Island building an office in Bresk, and I wish to offer as much aid as I can, but the far northern mines are not open to sightseers at the moment. If your comrades are lost, then I ask you leave with me their descriptions and last known whereabouts. I will employ every last man I can spare to help you find them. Pardon my candor, but I believe we need to discuss this further. I'm afraid... Your Imperial Highness. What if I invite them to travel with me under my name? Oh, Alota, you are always such a naughty little rascal. You know that Bresk needs specialist Oropathy doctors. You know that with your recommendation, I would not consider this a favor to be repaid, allowing your friend to do business here. Now look here. What is it that you wish to do? Dragged our esteemed guest into our muddy, snow-laden troubles? Alota, you are complicating the situation. This is not a complicated matter. Pray your Imperial Highness forget my bluntness. I have never concealed my objective here. By the Tsar, there is hardly a soul in Griffinburg concerned with the possibility of unrest in your Bresk. but there are many curious about the closure of the mining district and the mutations among the infected. Those coming here may be idle young nobles or scientists researching oropathy, but they can just as easily be an army captain or dignitaries from the state council. The young guard woman's tone remains frivolous, leaving you barely able to discern if the sharpness she speaks of or speaks with is one of irreverent rudeness, or if there is a prying, deeper meaning to it. Grand Duchess Elizabeth's eyes narrow. If they have their suspicions, then let them come and speak those suspicions here. The army see me as a fence-sitter, currying favor with the new nobles, while the state council sees me as some provincial Grand Duchess. I am well used to everyone laying their doubts and curiosities into Bresk. So, my dear Elota, who sent you here to heap more blame upon me? No. Your Imperial Highness misunderstands. You know that this is just a cushy job for me, paying a visit to your domain. My only intention was to petition you to grant these oropathy specialists permission to accompany me into the mining district, that we might investigate the strange happenings surrounding the infected there. May I butt in with a few words of my own? Pray speak, my friend. I'd like to clarify Rhodes Island's position. We are simply a pharmaceutical company trying to address infected issues. We are worried for the safety of our lost friends and must find them as soon as possible. As for other matters, Rhodes Island will not and cannot get involved. I did not ask this earlier, but my curiosity bounds. Your colleagues, why ever did they go to the central mining district? They went to address cases of oropathy. They are Ursine themselves. Oh. Rosanna's intentions are pure. We have no higher power pulling our strings, after all. The moment your words leave your mouth, you suddenly realize that being overly frank could make your promises seem hollow. This sort of overt honesty also makes it hard for others to believe you are hiding anything. The Grand Duchess ponders for a moment. In short, everything we do is in the service of searching for our friends. This is our only request. A young woman I care for and healers of oropathy who only wish to find their comrades. If I were to refuse you, it would seem rather cruel, wouldn't I? I understand your position. You are just worried about our friends from afar, worried that they would get drawn into danger. Naturally, I do not wish anyone in my lands to meet with misfortune. If I ever have the time, I would like to send stoves out to every soul who lives upon the frozen earth. Lota, can you promise me you will ensure our friends' safety to the best of your ability? Your Imperial Highness may trust in me. Good. Now go, Doctor. Go find your people. I permit Rhodes Island to enter the mining district of the far north. Thank you for your kindness. I wish that I were so kind, but few are they who appreciate the kindness of others. People revere those who snatch their rights from their hands, and are grateful whenever a portion of those rights is returned to them. But I do not believe such acts can be considered kind. The winds of the far north are bitter indeed. You had best pack some warm clothes, Doctor. Doctor. Aloysius, you're back.
Indeed. No need to look so excited, Gospoja Amia. This is the Administrative Center of Brask, not some den of evil. Our chat went rather smoothly, da?
As smooth as silk. You're still hiding things from both us and the Grand Duchess.
Alright, yes, I admit that. But it really was the only way I could create the ideal conditions for a discussion, and the results speak for themselves, no?
The Grand Duchess.
What of her?
She isn't what I imagined.
Oh, and how did you imagine her?
Colder? Harder to persuade?
If you were only to look at how she handled those strange happenings, then you would not be wrong. After they occurred, the affected infected were immediately sent to the Mining District's Research Institute, where she tasked the researchers to find the cause within a week upon pain of exile or deportation. Soon after that, she declared martial law in the far north, sealing all the miners within the district and blocking all communications, leaving the outside completely blind to what was happening inside. Highly efficient, and colder than winter. I have read your paper on the changes in orogenium and the new oropathy symptoms, as have research institutes across Ursus, who are already launching their own projects based on that paper. If these changes were simply those mentioned within, they would not merit this sort of response. It is highly likely that the abnormalities springing up in the mining district are an entirely new threat. An entirely new threat. Is the Institute looking into the case of the district under lockdown, all the miners isolated from the wild country? This way, everyone would believe the matter is settled, but in truth, after the incident, all work in the district stopped, and all communications were cut off. Deity Greiferberg's inquiries have received no response. None are able, and none dares to look too deeply into this.
If the Grand Duchess wanted to hide things, then we could never have been allowed into Brask.
You have met her, and perhaps this is you believing she truly is a kind administrator. Of course, she would let you in. After all, this is the friendliest place to the infected in Ursus. The Pearl of the Far North and Paradise in Northern Ursus. Brask, capital of Brascomni. You didn't see anything unusual in the city these past few days. Aside from the lack of people, that is how she runs the Far North. Like how since she became governor, nobody has been sentenced to death in the governorate. Has that lessened the number of people who have met the tragic ends? No.
You seem to have a lot of complaints about her.
Oh, you wound me. I promise my assessment is just now was not intended by any personal feelings. I was simply answering your questions. We are partners now, aren't we? I understand, Aloysius. Are these abnormal infected still under the supervision of the Research Institute in the Mining District? Indeed. To be more precise, they are in the Central Far North Mining District Laboratory. That's the first place we need to visit. Is it now? Having the same destination would make things much more convenient. Else anyone else you'd like to ask?
You're very eager.
Of course. I never intended to give you the runaround in the first place. I do have a question, Aloysius. Ask away. Earlier, when you were at your friend's house, we had to cut our conversation short. I should have asked you this question first, but I never found the opportunity. What is it you hope to gain from this investigation? If I may be serious for a moment. I want the truth. The truth about the mutations in the Central Mining District's infected. I do not want the infected miners to suffer unduly, nor do I want the people of the Ursus to sit ignorant of a looming disaster.
If you're stumped, just leave the hardest task to me.
Splendida giornata quest'oggi.
Okay, this is awkward, but I'm the only one who knows how to handle the chaos I created.
Why the rush? The road to the afterlife is crowded enough.
Army mobile crossbowmen cannot perform range attacks if your operators or miners are nearby. Interference area decreased when under the commander's order.
Divine judgment
Interesting.
additional!
So if they're close, then they can't do much.
No one can see me. No one knows right behind you.
Mission accomplished.
I wonder if they are like super strong otherwise. Central Far North Mining District.
We're very close to the Institute, but it's been so quiet the entire way. Do people really live here?
Three days ago, the Grand Duchess made a sudden decree that all residents living within 30 clicks of the central mining district had 24 hours to evacuate the area. Although the far north is sparsely populated, evacuating such a large area in such a short time was no easy task. Not to mention ensuring that all maintained secrecy the entire time. There are rumors that the Duchess has always maintained absolute control over all affairs in this region of Ursus. Some even say she revered even more than... Gostudar Batushka. I should not be running my mouth like this.
We're getting just so many so many phrases. Gostudar Batushka, I guess means the White Czar. This looks like it literally means prince, father prince. I don't know. She eventually allowed us in, which means she's not worried about our investigation.
That is not necessarily the case. She can hardly show resistance to a Grifferburger Imperial Guardsman's face, can she? Objectively speaking, the Grand Duchess has been acting as the lubricant between the armies and the State Council, making sure the bitterness between the two sides does not devolve into outright conflict. I must admit, this requires considerable skill. She gets the favor of both sides, but this also means she must maintain absolute impartiality.
You don't seem adverse to discussing this.
Surprised? You seem to have a misunderstanding about Ursus, Doctor. I am simply repeating the sort of gossip you might hear at any Grifferburg.
banquet. If you do not know the rumors inside and out, how would you manage to join the dinner-time discussions? Naturally, idle chatter is one thing. Actually trying to leverage this chatter for some upward mobility and putting it into action is another thing entirely. I'm rather interested in a rather interesting point of view. On the other hand, regardless of whether the Grand Duchess is hiding something, or if she believes everything hidden well enough, we'll certainly find something in the research institute looking into the abnormal infected. Do you hear the sound of fighting up ahead? Are those miners fighting with patrol unit?
All hands, prepare for a rescue operation. Wait a second. I've got sharper eyes, a clearer view. The ones hiding, getting beaten down, are the patrol units.
What?
Off in the distance, where Elysium is pointing, you see two groups of people fighting in a melee. A melee with a surprisingly few aspects to it. Is Elysium's eyes? Are they what was the school for enhancing biology? I forget what this is called. A patrol unit is being surrounded by a group of infected miners who outnumber them several times over. The lackluster equipment in the patrol unit's hand is of no use, as the miners would have to pickaxes strike their bodies over and over.
Doctor, are we still going to mount a rescue here?
Well, we need to learn more about what's going on. Enough! Stop it! What did you think we were trying to do? Kill us? Yeah. Ursus, we'll never let you get away with it.
Yeah. So what? So what? Since when have we ever been treated as human beings? We're people too, aren't we? We were never going to make it that far anyway. Might as well take you with us. Just die already. My hand. Where did you come from? You monster. Monster, that's my name. Don't wear it out. Sorry, mister, but could you slow down a bit? We have some questions we need you to ask. Why? You want to protect these patrol unit bastards? You're here to take us in too? Never, Mudok. We're not gonna follow you back all nice and quiet. The angry miner gets even more agitated, lifting the pickaxe in his hands up high.
Stop.
A voice out of nowhere floods into his brain, making the weapon in his hand feel extraordinarily heavy, and his legs feel full of lead, as if he tries to move. He cannot. She actually has the paralysis mechanic. What the? Shorts Polberry. What kind of arts is this? Sir, could you allow us a chance to talk things through? Amia steps forward, stretching her right arm out towards the miners, exposing the orangenium crystals on her wrist that were hidden under her sleeve. As you can see, I am infected. Most of my team are too. We mean you no harm, please believe me.
Infected? You're infected like us. And with some amazing arts too. You must be those reunion guys.
What? No, we are not reunion. We are from Rose Island, a pharmaceutical company.
Oh, my mistake. I thought you were the legendary reunion movement. Ah, knew it. A bunch of infected coming together to form an organization. It's a fantasy, no matter how you look at it. May I ask, where did you hear the name Reunion? Rankin. It was Rankin who told us about it. To the south, real close to the border with Kajimirsh, there's a group of infected who founded a place of their own, who take in all infected who ask for help and drive out anyone who wants to do harm to the infected too. Rankin would never lie to anyone, and I really hope it's true too, but Kajimirsh is so far away. How are we supposed to get there?
This Rankin, is he a member of Reunion?
Maybe. I'm not too sure, to be honest. But he's our hero. When he's around, the patrol units won't dare mess with us. I heard he rescued those guys who got dragged into the research institute. Hey, Blabbermouth. We still don't know what those people want. Oh, right. So why are you here?
We lost contact with our friends in the area. Have you seen a mobile medical team? There are 9 of them wearing clothes with the same logo as ours, and they would have been handing out medicine here.
Handing out medicine? What, like Santa Claus in the fairy tales? The miners look at each other as if they have just heard the worst joke on Terra. So, what's going on here? Oshonahui, they are murderers who want to kill us. They locked us up and gave us no food, trying to starve us to death. It must have been because we couldn't dig up anything, so they didn't give us a single bite to eat, right? Stupid bastards. Who the hell even knows what happened to the vein? The Oranginium just disappeared all of a sudden.
Yeah, there was another mention somewhere else, sometime else, that was like, yeah, the Oranginium just vanished. I think it was back in Rem Billiton or something.
We couldn't take any more. We had to run, or we'd all die.
Is this true?
Why are you looking at me like that? What are you gonna do to me? The mining district has had a supply shortage for a while now, more than just a couple of days. We got given about a few loaves of bread this month. We want to know what's going on too. Don't believe me? Who's the daughter Balushka? Who even has the time to bother with this rabble? If we kill them, then what? Are we supposed to go into the mines and dig ourselves into the mines ourselves to dig? Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what Ghostly Daughter Batushka is supposed to mean, because what pops up is not... They're using it as like as an expletive, but what pops up is not an expletive, so I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean.
Yeah, what are you doing? Okay, I'll shut up. I'll shut up now. This isn't just happening in 1 or 2 mines. It's all the far north, the entire mining district. All of us in it, we've been abandoned. We heard Rankin was the first one to step up. He got rid of all the soldiers and led several hundred people to an escape. And now we've escaped too. We wanted to find his group and leave with them, but they're far away by now. Okay, we've told you enough. Since you're not infected too, you should get out of here. Let us kill these bastards.
Sorry, but if I may be brutally blunt for a moment, I can overlook the reasoning of why you left your mine and treat you as a asylum seekers for the time being. But if you naturally do kill these unfortunate souls, then things will not go well for you. Heliosius, you can't speak to them like that.
What's with the officer in the pretty clothes? Blah! I should have never trusted you people.
The appearance of Imperial Guardsmen relights the flames of the miners' ire. They lift up their weapons once more to fence you in. But in fear of your Oranginium arts, they dare not act rashly. As for the routed patrol unit, the moment they see Aloysius, it is as if they have met their savior. They huddle behind her, cowering. It is altogether a rather awkward, irreconcilable scene. It looks as if... It looks like we don't have... It looks like if we don't resolve this situation, we cannot continue onwards, can we? These things being what they are, we have no choice. Very well. The guardswoman pulls out some paper from her coat pocket, quickly writing down a few words on it before sealing it within an ornate envelope and handing it to the head miner. Listen up, I have a suggestion that will make everyone happy. Take this letter. The seal on the envelope will ensure that no patrol unit harasses you, so long as you do not provoke them. Head north to Bresk Sentry Post. Hand the letter to the soldiers there, and they will find temporary shelter for you. As for what comes next, discuss it only after getting there. Believe me when I say that this is the only way for a peaceful resolution. In exchange, can you find it in your hearts to let these poor whelps go?
No, you can't. If we don't bring them back, we'll be disciplined.
Enough. You're lucky to be alive as it is.
Why should we trust you?
Do you have anyone else you can trust? Aloysius.
If we go to the shelter you mentioned, will there be enough bread for everyone?
Rest assured, if bread is what you need, then bread is you shall have.
The head miner takes the proffered letter, then turns to discuss the offer in hushed tones with the other miners. They quickly come to a consensus, and with no hesitation whatsoever, the miners form one long line and start heading north, as if entering the mine just like any other day. The long stretch of miners slowly funnels through a gap between the huts. All the while, Amia keeps looking towards the north, the procession fading into the distance. This is the best outcome we could hope for under the circumstances. I mean, a better outcome would have been that she gives them a paper and then they can just go south instead of north.
I understand, Doctor. We can't help everyone we meet. Rose Island will keep pressing on until the last of our strength has left us.
You turn to look at the Imperial Guardswoman behind you, seemingly frivolous, yet always able to take the initiative. This is no ordinary control measure. We've never heard of a supply shortage in a mining district.
Yes, I know that you are about to ask me. Believe me, I know about as much as you do. We are like-minded when it comes to these misgivings. The Research Institute is not far up ahead. Let us go there and find answers. Let's go, Doctor.
The laboratory. As you walk along the corridor, the echoes of your footsteps are swallowed up by the unending length. Its stone walls lean inwards, as if their grave majesty were about to smother everything upon the ground. Those who walk along it find themselves lowering their voices and then lowering them further.
It's so quiet here.
Rather, it seems that there are no infected here, or anyone for that matter. Which means, I've been to several Army Research Institutes before. They tend to be places of chaos, with plenty of people coming and going. Sick beds that don't fit in the wards are put in the corridors. Not too different from a battlefield hospital.
There is yelling and wailing and screaming from the infected, but at least they live, at least they struggle on, but here... nothing.
Was the Institute looted? There's traces of fighting in the corridor.
The entire district appears to be in terrible disarray. If all the abnormal infected from the Institute have escaped...
The soldiers of the district have been gravely derelict in their duty.
their leader will not shirk responsibility. Who knows, there may be great change coming to all of Breshkonoi. If the miners have been here, there must be some clues to find. We need to find out what happened. Well, there are no accurate blueprints on hand. These sorts of buildings usually follow a standard layout. If things are as expected, this hallway should form a loop, with standardized linked rooms adjoined. Every floor will also have an enclosed observation deck for easier viewing of what's going on in the mining area. As for... are you able to detect any of those biosignals you mentioned earlier? Silence. Sorry, ma'am, but if you were hoping that we could trace signals to a specific room in here, no can do. The best we can do is confirm signal waves are coming from a certain area. You'll need to go there and inspect things yourself if you want to find the source, like we're doing right now. No, right. I was simply asking. This is a big institute, so I'll head down to the basement to have a look. In the interest of efficiency, how about we split up? It's dangerous to be here alone. I'll go with you, Aloysius. Sure. I don't mind having someone else helping out. Monster and I will check upstairs then. Mantra, you and your team search the ground floor. Maintain comms at all times. Nods. This is a pretty spooky place, and it's an Ursine Research Institute. Who knows what strange things are happening here? Like, maybe they were experimenting with fusing humans and burden beasts. Monster, if anything goes wrong, get the doctor out of here pronto, no fighting. I know. Mantra, report. I'm here. We have found nothing unusual at our current position. I have eyes on Anmia. She is safe. About that biosignal, can we trace it more precisely? Fourth floor. Mineshaft side target is not moving. What? You never told me you could do that, Captain? Deception is not your strong suit. I hope she's the Ksenia monster mentioned. We are short on time, Doctor. The target's vital signs are unstable. You seemed really sure we would find something down here, Aloysius. Thanks to a little laziness, many Ursine government buildings follow the same standardized layout. This institute is like the others I visited, especially when it comes to how they divide up the space for specific uses. Then there should be something left in the basement. The dead cannot get up and leave, after all. Well, Do you mean this basement is a morgue? A temporary one, with incinerators equipped to handle the remains of a severely infected. Aha! I knew it. Although power to the freezing mechanism has been cut, the basement was still colder than the snow-dusted outdoors. The young guardswoman runs her hands across the coffins, which leaves behind a layer of frosty condensation on her fingers. These coffins have been used. They must have lost power just before the evacuation. Could you take the right side of the room, Gospoja Amia? We'll open them up one by one to check. Aloysius. What is it? Oh, how curious of me. You might never have seen a corpse before. Then call someone over, no need to trouble yourself. No, that's not important right now. The infected remains are very dangerous. If they have disintegrated and we open the coffin lids, this entire room might become a high orangenium dust environment. Before Amia can even finish speaking, the guardswoman pushes open a coffin. There is no release of oranginium dust, yet Aloysius's expression turns grave. What is going on here? Aloysius does not answer, instead turning to open another coffin, then yet another. The corpse is interred here. None of them are infected. Wait, stay back, Amia. Zar may have been performing some kind of experiment on the uninfected. That's all I can glean here, and that's all you need to know. There is no need for you to personally examine them. Thank you for your concern, but I think I should. Amia anticipated something like this the moment she stepped into the Institute. Sorrow shrouded her mind. It chills and clings to her. Suffering is smeared onto every wall in this place. Humanity's frail fingers are too weak to leave any trace on the stone and steel. Not even blood can find purchase here. All that remain is hate. Only hate. Amia does her utmost to ignore the spectral arms stretch out towards her. In the silence, she listens to the beating of her heart echoing through her chest. A dozen or so corpses, all in abject misery. Each of them has been twisted into an incomprehensible form. Their skin has been ruptured, exposing viscera and bones. They barely even look human. It is as if their frames had been subject to some enigmatic force, intent on warping them both inside and out until they neared complete destruction. Who knows how long they were subject to this agony? Who knows how they suffered under this torment? Nar, are you alright? Amia does not feel fear. Rage. She feels only rage. Mantra. The very next instant, a familiar voice answers. I am here. What is it, Amia? Aloysius and I are in the morgue in the basement. We can confirm that the Institute was conducting large-scale human experimentation. Experimental methods unknown. The victims we have discovered are all uninfected. No clue on the abnormal infected at the moment. Understood. I will inform the doctor. Stay safe and stay in touch. We can say that our earlier worries are more clearly defined now. The situation here, or rather in the far north, is much worse than our intelligence suggested. The strong emotion attacking me in the Institute alongside everything we experienced on our way here, like the patrol units harassing the infected, and the contamination created by the Royal Guard. All of this goes to show that the issues here extend far beyond the infected mutations. Amia and Aloysius found something. The Institute was conducting illegal human experimentations. No matter who our target is, there must be some information waiting. Where is she anyway? I've searched all the rooms of the mine shaft, aside, and nobody was there. What about the locked rooms? Same thing, the locks are old-fashioned, easy enough to pry open. But regardless of the status of their locks, most of the rooms had nothing except for things like empty shelves and cabinets or loose graph paper. Could she have left? Or maybe we're looking for the wrong place. What do you mean? Aloysius says every floor has an enclosed observation deck. I never found anything like... Wait, that can't be. It's a regular room, the entire room... It's regular rooms the entire way around the loop, and we've checked every single one. There's not enough space in this weird building for an observation deck. Maybe on the mine shaft side. A room within a room. Indistinct voice. The voice comes out of nowhere, the hoarse and fragmented. It creeps upwards from the ankles of the listener to their napes, coming into an icy standstill in the back of their minds. It sounds human, but it is hard to verify. Did you hear that, monster? I did. Up ahead. I remember the room. The lights here are broken, so stay behind me, Doctor. Behind the door is hidden another, this one unlocked, though the hands of humanity once left their heat upon its handle now. It is as cold as ice. Monster pushes open the small light door. Within the darkness, the visitors are greeted by feeble candlelight. The first sound they hear is not the voice of a human, but the wet, squelching sound of viscous liquid. Molten wax drips, melting into the disorderly blackening dark red stains on the floor and splattered onto scattered sheets of paper. And on those sheets, next to some handprints, is a list of formulae is scrawled out, trembling penned like screeches of fear and anger. It's meaningless. It's all meaningless. Great Ursus sets atop all creation, but its vast domain lies barren. Aside from never-ending disaster, Professor Ilia, I can finally see that you were right. You were right. Absolutely right. But where are you? Where have you gone? I tried my best. Tried so hard, but in the end, it didn't even matter. I wanted to look for you all. I wanted to. Now I can do is take everything away. Take it all away. And then I will find you. The woman stretches out her hand, bringing a sheet of paper up to the candle's flame. The fire soon consumes half of it. She watches it burn with the insatiable gaze, completely unaware of the company by her side. Cassina. You're Cassina, right? Monster rushes up to crush the burning paper, extinguishes it with her bare hands before it can grow into an inferno. She is surprised to find that the slumped-over woman is surrounded by a tangle of wires. Where do these wires lead? If they had not intervened in time, what would the ensuing blaze have led to? Did she just say Ilia? She did. I heard it too. Is that you, Cassina? You've grown. You look different from before. Why did you leave everyone else? Oh, snap. They're a normal person. I was expecting them to be, like, mutated or something. No apparent response to sound. Maybe she may have entered a dissociative state. Move her to the side. Keep calling her name. Ksenia, I will find you. These papers on the ground. You gather up all the sheets that were by her feet, flipping through them by candlelight. They are not what you imagined, not failed formulae or blank sheets of paper. The words written on them are clear and are in grammatical Ursine. What I am about to write is not meant to be known by any living soul. For there is no meaning in leaving behind words about me or the things that I love. What I write here is merely my recollection and repentance for me to take to my grave. I believed researching the sarcophagus was a grand undertaking with clean energy for the Ursine people close at hand, but the ember of that hope was ultimately snuffed out by our own divisions. I was fortunate enough to escape the unjust massacre due to my ignorance, but my good fortune was itself unjust. The price I paid was being forced to live the rest of my life in panicked mediocrity. I have nowhere to go, No home to return to. The talent I was so proud of is useless. My life has amounted to nothing. Ksenia. I'm Monster. Do you remember Count It? I'm Ksenia. It seems that whenever we are given the opportunity to advance, we always find a reason to hesitate. This interminable failure of life has made me truly understand those words I read many years ago in a book, words I once scoffed at. The reason why Ursus is constantly flooded with sorrow and injustice is because we lag behind other nations in many aspects. No matter how many truths we discover or accomplishments we make, this backwardness will ruthlessly extinguish the fires of our inspiration. This appears to be a suicide note. Still no reaction from her. Does it say where the sarcophagus ended up after it left Chernobog? No. But it mentions researching some kind of material, and I think it's describing the mutations in an Ursing infected. Oka should have been a chance to turn things around, but just like every other opportunity that passed by me, it was fleeting. Was my research wrong yet again, or is this inexplicable, miraculous substance from the mines truly nothing out of the ordinary? It clearly contains no energy, yet it so callously tortures those patients who are already suffering from disease, driving them mad, making them act in unusual ways, even allowing them to accomplish the impossible. I do not know, but I am unwilling to be the one who inflicts even more pain on them. Fortunately, I need not continue. That is all I have to say. Now all I can do is make guesses using metaphysics like some sort of poet. Oka may simply be part of Ursus' essence buried deep in the ground. It revels in the suffering of those it abhors, all behind a mightily harmless countenance. Enough. Stop heaping your egotistical, unfounded learning upon this man-made calamity, Ksenia. Once more, you are a despicable survivor. You should have died 20 years ago at the hands of those soldiers, or here at the hands of angry infected. But now it all comes to an end. Ksenia. We know for sure that she's Ksenia. What is Oka? Oka. Ksenia? Can kill the Royal Guard. It's dangerous.
Leader, don't forget to invite me out for drinks on your tab, okay?
They found a new substance underground. Interesting, interesting.
Yo, Doctor. You had lunch yet?
Well, that is where we will be stopping. Off to a very interesting start. It was like, okay, I want to see these infected mutations, but now we've got something else. We got multiple things happening. We'll probably be back tomorrow with more, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll see how I think about it, but that's all for now. So thank you all for watching, and until we meet again, at the sands of time, choo-choo out.